Welcome everybody, it's Debbie O'Neill of Scrap Me Quick Designs, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be talking about the Cricut Joy. I get asked a lot of questions about the Cricut Joy because people are curious. Is it just for card making? Or Debbie, I don't know which Cricut machine I want to get. I don't do a lot of crafting and I don't have a dedicated craft rooms. Oh gosh, I'd like to be able to take this when I go on trips and not have to carry so much stuff with me. Would the Cricut Joy be good for that? What kind of things does the Cricut Joy cut? What kind of things can you make with the Cricut Joy? If it's so small, can I really make very much with it? In today's tutorial, I'm going to answer those questions and more. I'm going to let you know why Cricut Joy is not just for card making, and why do I think it's a great gift for everyone, whether you give it to yourself or you give it as a gift to someone else. Now, today's tutorial is sponsored by HSN. HSN is an awesome place for crafters to be able to get quality craft supplies and machines at very, very affordable prices, and also they offer that 5 flex payments. I know right now everybody's worried about saving money and their budget and so forth, and so if you need to stretch out your payments a little bit so that you could go ahead and get one of these home, you might want to look into the HSN flex payment. Let's go ahead and dive into Cricut Joy. I'm going to show you my Cricut Joy. We're going to talk a little bit about the machine, and then I'm going to show you all the amazing things it can make and all the materials it can cut. Okay, I did want to show you my Cricut Joy. Isn't she a beauty? And notice how small she is. So she's great for people who don't have dedicated craft spaces, or maybe you're traveling and you want to be able to do some crafts while you're away and you want to take something small with you, right? Now, the other thing is she's very sleek. She does not have any buttons on it. It's not a complicated machine to use. You do everything through the Design Space application, and you'll notice that there's no buttons to turn it on because it is Bluetooth enabled. So when you plug it in and you get it paired with your device, needs to be Bluetooth enabled as well. Then you control everything from your application. So there's no button to turn it on or anything like that. So that makes it simple to use. We're going to open it up. You just open it up with your hand, super easy. And then you'll notice that on the inside, this is the blade housing here. Let me just take that out real quick. That's the little blade. It's so cute. It goes right in here, or you can use the Cricut Joy pen. Okay, now the Cricut Joy pens come in a lot of different varieties, but all you have to do is take the cap off, set it in here, close this up, and now you're ready to write and draw with your Cricut Joy. So that's super easy, not complicated at all. Your machine comes with Cricut Joy black pen. It's got some instructions and a few materials to get you started cutting, and it comes with a Cricut Joy mat. Okay, so this is a standard grip mat. This mats are 4.5 by 6.5. So with the Cricut Joy, you're going to be cutting smaller things, but you can make bigger things with them. It doesn't have to be super tiny, but you get one of the standard grip mats so that then you can put whatever materials, and there's a big variety we're going to talk about here in a minute, that you could use the Cricut mat to put it on. But I know everybody's always asking me, what are smart materials and why does the Cricut Joy, what does Cricut Joy have to do with that? Smart materials were created by Cricut because they wanted to make this simple for everybody. And how to do that was that they put the material already on a mat. Okay, these are rolls, and on the back of this you can see, you can hear it, it's kind of plasticky, so you don't have to cut a material and put it on a Cricut mat. It's already on its own mat. So this is glitter vinyl, and all you would have to do is put it in the machine like this. There's little guides so it's easy to feed it in, and then on the application, on Design Space application, then all you would have to do is hit the go button once you get your design set up and select your material, and it's going to feed it through for you. So there's no stop and go or anything like that that you're going to be controlling on the machine. It makes it so much quicker to be able to craft a project because it's already on here for you. All right, and it comes in a lot of materials, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But that's kind of the basics of the Cricut Joy. I just wanted you to see it and get a feel for how small it is. And now we're going to show you a bunch of projects that I've made with the the Cricut Joy and talk about some of the materials. We are going to start out by talking about cards just to get that out of the way, because Cricut has a great card system for the Cricut Joy. So if you need to whip out a quick card for a birthday, you forgot to pick one up at the store, it's so easy just to make a card, have these materials on hand, and it cuts a lot of different types of cards. Okay, and I just want to show you just real quick. So they have these insert cards, and what that means is that you use a Cricut Joy mat, okay, and this is the card mat, and it's got a plastic cover on it. You take one of the cards, the card's already cut and folded for you. All you have to do is slip it into here, pick your design in Design Space, and put it in your machine and cut it out. Okay, so then once it cuts out, then you're going to end up with this. All right, this as an example, and you have inserts. That's why they're called insert cards. So here's a piece, and you see the little tabs up here. You're just going to slide the insert into the card, and that creates a beautiful card in seconds, guys. You can make these cards in seconds, really. So the ecosystem for the cards is really cool because there's a lot of variety of cards that you can pick up to get started. I'm just going to show you real quick. So look how cute that is. That looks like a fancy card, doesn't it? It's got a couple of different inserts, and it's so adorable. Here's another one that's simpler, but I want to show you the detail. See the detail? It's so cool. Now this one has the insert again, but it has used the Cricut pen. This card design uses the Cricut pen to draw in some of the details. Okay, so the cards don't have to look plain. This is absolutely beautiful. This is drawn with the Cricut pen. Okay, and this one is another one of the insert cards, but it uses the metallic marker, so it drew in the image outlines here to add something a little bit different to the front of the card using the markers. Also make sure they're Cricut Joy, because that's what's going to fit in there. Here's one that I took, and I used, this card is Land That I Love, and it cut this out. I used the red glitter insert, but then I just added a little bit of my own little ribbon to it, and it made it like a fancy card, right? So you can add things to it. The other thing is Cricut has this deluxe paper that's made for the Cricut Joy, so it's already sized, so it's adhesive backed, let me just say it that way, and then you can cut out shapes and just put it on the front of a card. So I just made a quick little birthday card using that. So the cards are a really cool thing, and you can do them quickly, so that they made this whole system simple. Now I'm going to show you a couple of other things. So making your own labels, I used the Smart Vinyl, and so I used permanent and removable. They have different kinds. It comes in a bunch of different colors, and these are little clips that I got to go on bins that I have at my house. So but I just cut this out. I did use some transfer tape, so they even have transfer tape that fits, and I was able to cut these really cute labels to go on these clips to help me with my organization around the house. So that went very quickly. These are shapes that are in Design Space that are for labels, and it was so easy to do that, and I just used a font in Design Space. You can use iron-on or heat transfer materials. Cricut has the Smart Iron-On, and this is a bag that I made with that is so cute, guys. This is a little zippered pouch. This was an image in Design Space. I was able to cut it out. Now this is not, that doesn't look too small, right? That's a fairly good size, and I was able to cut this on the Cricut Joy. So people are always asking me, can I cut anything? I don't want to just cut little tiny things. So you can cut larger things. Now what it does is that it turns the image this way on your mat, so that when it cuts it out, it's going to look sideways, but then when you weed it away and you get ready to apply it to your project. So they do have iron-on that goes with the Cricut Joy, so you can make t-shirts. You can make, like, this is a canvas bag. I put it on a canvas bag. You can make baby onesies. You can make adult size t-shirts. I've made plenty of great adult size t-shirts using the Cricut Joy. So yes, you can do that. Yes, you can use infusible ink. Now infusible ink is it's basically sublimation ink that's dried that comes on a sheet that you can cut with your Cricut Joy, and then you would apply it to, this is a coaster, a ceramic coaster. You would apply it to the coaster, and then you would heat this up with your Cricut Easy Press, and then you would end up with these beautiful permanent coasters, and it infuses into these special polyester coated materials. So yes, you can use any of the infusible inks, and they even have infusible ink pens for the Cricut Joy. So if you wanted to write something and add it to polyester shirts, you wanted to do iron-on shirts or anything like that, you can do that with the infusible ink. The other thing I wanted to show real quick is that you can make labels, guys. They have smart label material. It's writable vinyl. So instead of having to cut out a bunch of individual letters and trying to apply those, you can just use the Cricut Joy pens to actually write on the label, on the smart labels. Here is an example of some jars that I made, and you can see how intricate and pretty those ended up being, and the pen wrote on it, and then it cut it out, and then I had my own labels to put on anything. So think of all the jars, think of all the things around the house that you wish you had a label for. The smart label is a great thing for that, and there's a lot of different Cricut Joy pen styles. So this is a fine tip black pen. That's what I used to write because I wanted this kind of look on my label where it was small print. Those are some things that I've done. I've also made cups. I've made decals. I guess a lot of people call it a decal, but this is a jar, and I wanted to have a saying on the front of this jar. This is where I keep some of my paper flower paper flowers I've cut out in. But so you can see this is not a small jar. It's pretty good size decal on the front of it. This is a little plastic egg that I got at the Dollar Tree, and this is printed patterned art vinyl and regular vinyl, and then I cut these out and then was able to apply them. So you know, things don't have to be super tiny. This is a pretty good size you know, gift egg for the holidays. So just wanted to show you that, how easy that is to do with the Cricut Joy. And I have made all kinds of paper crafts with this. I've made things, I've made cake toppers, I've made all kinds of flowers. These are just a sample of some smaller flowers I've made, and I wanted to show you, this is a layered piece that I created, and I was able to make everything using the Cricut Joy. The only limitation you have is the size of the mat when you're working with paper products, because you will need the Cricut Joy mat, but anything that fits within this dimension will work on here. So I was able to cut all of these out on here. Now I had to feed paper in several times, but I cut all of these shapes out using the Cricut Joy. Okay, and then I was able to stack them up. I even cut out the leaf that goes on it, and this became a gift card holder. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that you can make with your Cricut Joy. You can make embellishments for party decor. This was a graduation party for my granddaughter. I made a bunch of decorations for and centerpieces for the table, and we call her Bee. Her name's Bianca. So I made a bunch of these bees that I cut with my Cricut Joy, and this is glitter cardstock and pattern regular cardstock, but things don't have to be flat, guys. You can make things that have dimension using your Cricut Joy. It's not just for cards. So we saw some of the projects that I made with my Cricut Joy. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Let's talk about the other kinds of projects you can make with the Cricut Joy that you may not have thought about. So obviously paper crafting cards, we covered that. But you can do scrapbook titles and embellishments and gift wrap and party banners and decor and signs and cake toppers. Yes, I've even made cake toppers using my Cricut Joy. Also organization labels for your pantry, for work, for home, for the office, for bathrooms, linen closets, craft rooms. There's a great to make different kinds of labels. You can make vinyl decals to put on mugs, tumblers, water bottles, phone cases. Customize those things. Put things that people love, their favorite image or their initials or something, to personalize it. You can make ornaments for the holidays. You can decorate notebooks, decorate candles, jars like I showed you, home decor signs. You can make signs on canvas. You can make signs on on wood. You can, make koozies. You can even make stickers for your planners. Iron-on designs. So you can do t-shirts, baby onesies, pillows, table runners, napkins, tea towels, tote bags, hats, even with the iron-on materials using your Cricut Joy. And then we also have that infusible ink. So with infusible ink, you can do coasters like I showed you. You can put it on clothing, tote bags, makeup bags, pillows, hats. And then the last thing that I didn't mention earlier was making stencils with the Cricut Joy for bakers. Okay, so you can do, sometimes you're doing the cookie stencils and you need an outline shape to do with the icing. You can do a stencil to lay over your cookie to be able to pipe your icing in. Also for cake decorating, we've seen stencils made that cake decorators are using to get those beautiful designs on their cakes. Stencils are also great for painting signs. So maybe you don't want to put vinyl on a sign, you would rather it be have that painted look to it. You can make stencils using your Cricut Joy to then add the paint on top and then remove the stencil. Also home decor stenciling. So sometimes you want to add something to a piece of furniture or maybe just on the wall to decorate something using some stenciling materials. You have permanent, removable, chalkboard, dry erase, foil, frosted, holographic, mosaic, pearl, shimmer, textured, and writable labels, just to name a few of things that are the adhesive vinyls that you can cut. For iron-on, or what people call heat transfer vinyl, again, you can use the mat and cut material to put on the mat, or use the smart iron-on materials. And you've got everyday glitter, holographic, mesh, mosaic, sports flex, pattern, infusible ink sheets. I mean, there's a million different iron-on things that you can cut with your Cricut Joy. Things that are not the typical things that you might think of, I wanted to make sure we talked about that too. So again, you would use it, these are materials that you would put on the cutting mat. So you can cut flat cardboard, you can cut corrugated cardboard, you can cut chipboard, like thin chipboard, foil poster board, any kind of cardstock that's 65-pound or 80-pound cuts beautifully in the Cricut Joy. Glitter cardstock cuts really well. Pattern paper, foil acetate, party foil for decorations, window cling, vellum for doing candle wraps and a lot of different things with the vellum cuts really nice. Paper writable labels, yes, they make paper writable labels for the Cricut Joy, and the stencil materials that I talked about. So a lot of different materials that you may not have thought that you can cut with the Cricut Joy. We're in Design Space. Cricut has made it simple for you to find projects for your Cricut Joy. So you would just go in Design Space, go over to Projects, and you could go into the drop down here and you'll see some projects that are specific to labels, which I'll show you here in a minute. But there's all kinds of cutaway cards, insert cards. You'll find things specific to the Cricut Joy here. Let's take a look at the free images that you get. When you get the Cricut Joy, you get 50 free designs in Design Space that you can use with your Cricut Joy. This gives you a great idea for projects. So labels, cards, of course, the hats that I mentioned, table runners, somebody made a luggage tag, iron-on a backpack, made some coasters, did labels to do for drinking cups, made labels for when you're giving gifts, made for the spice jars like I showed you, decorated some cute custom phone cases, water bottles, made some home decor with. As you can see here, there are a lot of different things. They made banners, they made decorations for a butterfly frame, personalized gift bags, decorated a notebook. All of those things that I talked about earlier, you get 50 different images here that are free when you get the Cricut Joy. Made shirts, so you can see they did baby onesies, tea towel. I mean, you name it, you can make it with your Cricut Joy pretty much, and a lot of different material. One of the drop downs is the Cricut Joy Smart Labels. So those labels that I showed you, there are a lot of different variety to inspire you to make labels. So hopefully today's tutorial, I've shown you that the Cricut Joy can be used in a lot of different ways by a lot of different people. Let's just think about who could use a Cricut Joy in your life. moms, dads, grandparents, kids, college students, teachers, organizers, crafters, non-crafters, single adults, married couples, party planners, bakers, and the list goes on and on and on can use the Cricut Joy. That's why I think it makes such a great gift for anybody, or to gift yourself, so that you can get a little creativity in your life. And to wrap things up, I do want to just real quick hit the key reasons why I think the Cricut Joy is a perfect gift for everybody. One, the size. It only weighs 3.85 pounds, so pretty much anybody can carry this around. It's got the small footprint, so it doesn't take up much space to either store it or have out on your table, whether you're working at a kitchen table or the coffee table or whatever. Also, it's easy to store away. The portability is really great because you can take it and use it anywhere. You use it with the software. You can use it with your phone, your tablet, or your laptops that have Bluetooth capability. You need internet and electricity. Most of us have those things readily available, luckily for us. So it makes it easy for you to take the Cricut Joy with you to do your crafting activities. Capability, it's super easy to learn to use. As you can see, it's not complicated, and it cuts so many different materials, guys. Most people did not realize how many things you can cut with your Cricut Joy. I hope I cleared that up today. And the fact that you're able to cut, write, and draw with the Cricut Joy, which is nice. And the final thing, which I think is the most important thing, is the affordability. So it's a lower entry point for beginners to start crafting. If they're a little overwhelmed, but maybe they want to try something, this is a great price point and a smaller, simpler machine to use. Also, it is a great price for a second machine if you're already an experienced user. I actually use my Cricut Maker. I'm making a bunch of projects, and I pull out my Cricut Joy and I'm working on that while my big machine's cutting out more complicated projects. And I can be working on vinyl decals or cutting out iron-on that I'm going to put on a project or whatever. So as a second machine, it's great too. Affordability. HSN is sponsoring this video. I told you guys that earlier, and they have some amazing prices on the materials, and you also get free shipping. And if you are watching your budget and you are interested in using their flex pay so that they stretch out however much you buy, they stretch it out like a payment plan, and then that way they'll ship you the stuff already, and then you can pay it out over 5 payments, which makes it really nice and certainly affordable for everybody to either get this for themselves or maybe give it as a gift. The holidays are coming up. So now you decided that you need a Cricut Joy in your life, or you know someone who needs a Cricut Joy in their life. What are some must-have accessories that you want to make sure you pick up when you get your Cricut Joy? Obviously, you want to get the Cricut Joy. If you're going to be traveling at all or storing it away or whatever, I do recommend the Cricut Joy case. I have this. I love it. In fact, I'll be taking it when I go on retreat this weekend because I'm taking my Joy with me. It keeps my machine safe for when I'm traveling. I also recommend that you get a toolkit of some kind. So the main things that you would need, they have a cute little one that matches the Cricut Joy. You definitely want a scraper tool, you definitely want a spatula, and you need a weeding tool. Those are the 3 basic tools that you would need. I also recommend that you pick up a replacement blade. Now, these blades are made specifically for the Cricut Joy, and they'll cut a lot of materials for a long time, but it never hurts to have an extra blade. If you're going to be making cards, you do need to grab the card mat, okay, because it's very specific to make those types of insert cards that I showed you guys. So you want to grab that. If you're going to be cutting longer material than the 4.5 by 6 1/4, that the mat that comes with your Cricut machine, you may want to pick up a longer mat just to have that on hand. And then of course, it's always nice to have different pens. So pick up some different color pens to have, because it's so great to be able to draw and write with your Cricut. So those are some must-have accessories, and then whatever supplies you think you want to use. So you don't have to buy everything all at once. Just buy a few things to get started with your Cricut Joy that you would want to use. Maybe you just want to cut out vinyl decals. pick up some of the vinyl. The smart vinyl would be great. Then that way it's super easy to do. Don't forget to get some transfer tape. Or maybe you're interested in doing the iron-on project. So just pick something simple to start with, and those would be your Cricut Joy must-have things to have. I've got everything linked up in the description of the video. I've found some good prices for you, and that way if you want to know what some of the materials are, you can click those links and be able to see. Now those are affiliate links, so if you click on them, I do get compensated by the company at no additional charge to you. I just wanted to thank you for stopping by and learning more about the Cricut Joy, and that it's not for card makers anymore. Hopefully I've made that very clear, and it makes a great gift for just about everyone that you know, including yourself. Please let me know if you have any questions about the Cricut Joy. I'm always happy to answer those. Be sure and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss future tutorials. And any of the products that I talked about today are linked up in the description of the video, so you can find them below. And I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks a lot, and happy crafting!